Jerome Powell said it may be too soon to cut rates. Specifically, we on the committee have a view that inflation is going to come down not so quickly. It'll take time. And in that world, if that forecast is broadly right, we're not going to cut rates. And he felt that that it was appropriate how they've kind of said, like, we got to let this play out a little bit. I think we kind of already discussed this one. You're in agreement. Let's keep moving.
Yep.
The labor market. The initial signs of weakness in the labor market suggest that a path to a soft landing for the economy is not off the table. What do you think about that one?
I actually agree with that one. I don't think it's going to be horrific. I think that there is still a lot of positives. I think the job market, look, I'm in the middle of trying to fill a couple of positions, and hiring isn't as easy as it was in the past when we've had, weak job markets. I don't classify the current job market as weak by any stretch of the imagination. And I think as long as jobs remain hot, it's going to soften the blow to anything that happens.
It's interesting because they go on to talk about wage increases moving down. If inflation has hit anything, it has hit how much you pay people. I mean, I've just had my mind blown about what the salaries people are commanding for jobs a couple years ago. It literally would have been like 20 to 30% less. And I mean, we're bringing in all types of different salaried employees here at our team, whether they're inside salespeople, support staff, management, right?
Management,
and all those comp packages are going to be different. So, I mean, I'm not seeing that things are cooling down. I'm seeing there's more talent on the street because I think they realize they can get more money if they make a move. But you got to pay for those people. And then it's a weird thing because if you pay for those people, then they got to think about, well, is it right for me to make a move to another company now that I got a higher offer, or am I going to use this offer to get more money from my current employer? And we've seen that happen to people we know in the industry and that are hiring all sorts of folks. So, I mean, the labor market's strong. I just don't, with income coming up like this and wages coming up, I think that's where inflation has a little bit of a challenge to cool down a little bit.
Agreed. I still think when you look at the number of openings that exist, and I think one of the other factors that I think still isn't fully resolved, and I don't think we talk about it enough, is the lack of affordable childcare that is keeping people out of the labor market who would absolutely enter if they could find affordable childcare, or even just childcare. I've got a family member up here who's due with their first baby. Baby's due in June, and they can't get a spot at any daycare until November. Even if they were ready, willing, and able to put that baby in daycare in June, there are no spots open.
Yeah, and I've heard.
I think.
Go ahead. I just stepped all over you there. Only time that's ever happened. So, I've had people standing outside for lotteries to get into daycares that I know personally. I mean, and even just getting a babysitter for, my kids are 10, 8, and 6, and we're trying to get like a babysitter, literally just someone that can, like a part-time gig, right? And even that is really difficult because it's, people don't want to work, or they're getting paid enough at their current job. They don't need to do something on the side, because a lot of like teachers will babysit in their off time, and like I'm talking like younger people starting their careers. Even college kids it's been a little difficult to do. So I think that's a great point about childcare, because as strong as the labor market is, it's really, these facilities don't have enough space to accommodate everybody. And they had to downsize their employment staff during the pandemic because you couldn't send your kids. So it's like this problem, we kind of created it ourselves here from a government level. And now we're just like digging it out. And it just seems like there's a lot of layers to this.
That's how I feel in my business.
Yeah. We're going to talk about that. We actually have, Lisa's got a great topic we're going to hit on, because for the knowledge brokers that are out there, there's less home selling this year, right? And, people are feeling it in the real estate industry. Real estate's an elastic business. You kind of go with ebbs and flows in the economy. It's not like medical device sales where they're going to need those devices no matter what, because people are, getting these surgeries done, getting hips replaced, whatever they have to do. Real estate's an elastic business. And with an elastic business, when the economy reacts this way, it's a little tough, and all the warts come out when things are not going. When things are going great, you kind of like overlook like the bump on your head or like the skin knee. But when the market is tough, not business. When the market is tough, every flaw is magnified. And then you find out there's like 30 more of them you didn't even know about, but you didn't care because things were going well. So I think and we're going to talk about major companies in the market here in a second about that. Anything else? I mean, I can go through all these comments here. I mean, I think we kind of hit on the big takeaway for me from Chairman Powell's comments was that we're not going to see a decline in rates. It sounds like they're going to wait a little bit and let this play out, which I'm clear is the best strategy. We've been calling for that for months on this podcast, and they're going to evaluate. So really the data is going to help them make the next couple decisions, which I like. I'm a database decision maker myself. That's how good businesses should be run. That's my big takeaway from this. And I think he didn't put his foot in his mouth this time. And the market's reacted favorably. I mean, we were getting quoted 6 1/8 on rates yesterday after the comments came out. So I don't have a number yet today on Friday the 5th. Cinco de Mayo, Lisa. We'll ask you if you have any plans later about that. But that's my big takeaway from Jerome Powell. Anything you want to add?
Nope. I think that's spot on.